Welcome to Monday Night Live, the weekly training that guides professionals to financial prosperity. Join our community and start building your wealth.
While we're doing that, let's just do a quick poll. If you were able to do the vision exercise prior to tonight, go ahead and either raise your hand or type in the chat box, or you can do the Zoom hand raise. Okay, good. There's a couple. And if you still need, I know one or two of you are working on it because we've spoken. Um, there's no hard and fast rule. I mean, it's really very personal for you. So when it's done, it's done. But generally, you do the preparation, and then when you do the actual writing exercise itself, it's like the writers call it the writer's flow. You'll know when you're done. The words will stop flowing, and all of a sudden you'll be aware of the stiffness in your hand and your wrist and your arm. You know, unless you're typing, you can type it, but I prefer writing this stuff out. It just has a greater imprint on your mind when you write it out in hand. You're using multiple sensory inputs. It's like engraving. You're engraving it on your mind. So, any questions on the vision exercise? Did anybody actually have a struggle with it this year? Sometimes that happens. It's not abnormal for that to happen. Everybody's went along perfectly smoothly. Everybody had the perfect vision exercise. If I wrote you a check for $1 million,
Perfectly imperfect.
there you go. Yeah. It's amazing if you really understand that, you really realize everything actually is perfect. You know. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started here, guys. If you could, go ahead and open up the AI tool that you're using, whether it's ChatGPT or Gemini, um, Claude. There's a bunch of them. But whatever one you're using, go ahead and open that up. Some of them are free, some of them they have options. Like I chose the forget the what it's called on ChatGPT, the $20 a month version. I don't think it's Pro. It was Plus, ChatGPT Plus. That's what I got. And that seems to work really, really well. So the key to AI though is you have to really give it specific, clear, detailed instructions. That's the key. You know, and then keep going with it. As long as it keeps asking you questions for clarification, or do you want it? It's going to ask you if you want it to go to the next step, create a plan, whatever. Just keep going with that. That's the real value in it. So what I'm going to do is share with you a vision statement from many, many moons ago. That's okay. That's not the vision exercise. That's the goals instructions. That's the chat GPT. Here it is. Okay. Um, I purposely went back over 5 years, 5.5 years, to someone that's has moved on, and I took his name out, her name out, and stuff like that. But uh, this person really did a great job of it. If you look at it, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. Okay. And usually you're looking for something around four is the average. Four is the average. Some are two, some are eight, some are 12. First time I did it, it was 8 pages. But since then, it might are averaging about four. And most people, once you've done it several years in a row, that seems to be about the average. But hey, everybody's different. But what I want you to recognize here is this person covers all the bases. Okay. It's not just about business. He covers is, wanting to be, spiritually developed and close to his creator, and his savior. He also talks about where he would like to live, places he'd like to visit, um, his relationships with his spouse, with his uh, siblings. Okay. Um, Talks about some of the miracles, okay, in life. If you ever want to study those, there's great books on that. One of them is called the Bible. So, in any case, this person was really thorough. And of course, they got into business, um, adventure, health, the whole 9 yards. And they wrote what he wanted people to see in him. And I changed the name to Zeus, obviously. I'm not looking at his real name. But he's looking back, and this is what he wants people to say about him, you know. And this is really where your values are. The first part is for projection. This is the real vision, right? It's usually divinely inspired. The second part really is more about your values, okay? What you want people to think about you and say about you when you're gone. That's a pretty good reflection of your values. Would you guys agree? That's a great way to determine what your values are. So now I've got these two powerful statements here, okay? And I might actually include this. I will actually, in fact, I'll give this to Sugar as well as the goals exercise itself, the prompt that I'm going to show you here in a little bit, and also the results of the AI prompt. Okay. In any case, back to this. Let me go find the actual goals exercise. Okay. Now this is the actual goals exercise in its original form. So you have the option this year. You can do this the classical way, where you prepare yourself in a quiet environment, an inspiring environment with no disruptions whatsoever, no cell phones, no radios, TVs, computers, um, not even any other people. And if there are other people in the home, make sure you prepare them ahead of time, let them know that you need your quiet time, and even post a note on the door so that they know that it's serious. Okay. Otherwise, it's too easy to get distracted, and you're not going to get the results that you might like. So, in any case, first part of this is describing the goal exercise. You know, when you're doing the goals exercise, essentially you're writing the question. Um, Let me just move forward. This is a repeat of the vision, right? The vision exercise. If you go down here, let's see, where is that? Um, Trying to find the question is, what goals does this person have? Okay. What goals does this person have? And you have to prepare yourself just like you prepared again for the vision exercise. So that's going to be in tomorrow's email. Okay. Now, let me show you ChatGPT. There it is. Right. So this is my ChatGPT account. Okay. And it includes the document that I uploaded, includes the prompt and the AI's response to the prompt. Okay. So here's the prompt. Remember, you always want to position the AI to be, if there was a person you were speaking to, be that exact person that you would be speaking to about this, all the qualifications and everything. So I just started this off by saying, ChatGPT, you are a world-renowned life coach. Please read the attached vision statement and determine what goals the person in the vision statement should have that are in alignment with and will lead to the realization of the vision. I even misspelled realization. It's still got it. And it's, you know, if responding, of course, says Gary, it's a powerful, heartfelt vision. The life described is rich in faith, served with love, mentorship, adventure, creativity, abundance, and a deep human connection. And that sounds pretty good to me. That's a great. This person hit all of their major environments. Okay, and that's one of the key tenets of this. Is it's not just about one component, one area or environment in your life. It's about all of them. Okay. Um, So in any case, when we reverse engineer a vision like this, the goals and emerge become a clear roadmap for living into that future, spiritually, relationally, professionally, financially, and personally. Okay. Below is a distilled set of life aligned goals that directly support the realization of the vision you shared. Each goal comes from explicit themes in the document you provided. Okay. Let me just get this teed up here. All right. And for every category, every what we call environment, that the person wrote about in this vision exercise is covered in the goals section. So before I get into that, let me just do a quick, let me do this first. Let me copy the prompt. And again, you're going to get this in the email tomorrow from Beverly, sorry, Beverly, from Sugar. I'm going to put this in the chat box for you. Everyone, okay. So if you want to go ahead and copy and paste this, in fact, go ahead and do that now. Let me stop share. Hi, I just want to take a moment to thank you for watching a recording of the Monday Night Live class. Hope you're getting a lot out of it. I'm sure you will. I wanted to let you know that, you can come to Monday Night Live whenever you want, but you can also participate more with the team. Why don't you set up a call with me, a one-on-one strategy call? I can go over everything with you, show you everything that we have to offer. For example, did you know that on our team, not only do you get your leads, we actually give you your own account on our lead gen system. So this puts you in control. You're not waiting on somebody to hand you leads. You get to pick the ones you want. Okay. Huge difference. We have 21 of our own proprietary marketing campaigns. They're all copyright protected. We're the only ones that can use them. Okay. The coaching is absolutely one-on-one. We got 3 coaches. We even have a 4th success coach that we have access to. Okay. One of left fewer than 100 in the world. Okay. One-on-one coaching. Right now the big problem is volume. We need more transactions. We need more inventory. I get it. Well, we know how to get it. Our team actually outproduces the national average by more than 2 to 1. So if you're struggling, don't do that anymore. If you're a solo agent, if you're a team, let's just talk. Smart entrepreneurs are always open to discussion. Learn what we have to offer, and then you can make an informed decision about staying where you are or moving on. You got to decide, if you're not where you want to be, you've got to take action to get where you want to be. Let's see how we can help you do that. I look forward to talking to you. Click on the link, set up a call. And by the way, I'll see you on the next Monday Night Live. Copy and paste this prompt and then go into your AI account, whichever one you choose to use. Okay. So do me a favor, do a hand raise once you have this copied. You've got it highlighted and copied. If you could just let me know with a hand raise, because I don't want to jump around and mess people up here. So far, 2 people, 3 have it copied. Some of you have your still shots with the camera. 4 PF. Okay, looks like so far almost everyone is here. I can't. For those who have like Willett, Darren, Augustine, Grace, Kevin, PF, Rob, and Val. You either have a still shot or no picture at all, so I can't see if you're raising your hand or anything. So you can type it in the chat box if you'd like. Some of you did. Grace, Augustine, Anita, thank you very much. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is go into my chat GPT. Okay. And I'm going to put in here, type in new chat. Okay. And before I do that, I'm going to click on the plus sign because there, see where it says add files and more. I'm going to click on the plus sign. You can upload an image, files, deep research, shopping research. There's other things you can do there. But I'm going to click on add photos and files. Now I can go in here and pick whatever I want to load, and you literally just highlight it and open it. And I'm not going to do that because I don't want to create a new one by accident. What I'm going to do is go back. I just want to show you how to upload that file, and then you'll see your file will be uploaded here. Then,
Garrett, just so you know, we're not seeing your screen right now.
oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for letting me know. That's why we did the stop there. Well, I can tell you it looked really good. All right. So this is what you do in ChatGPT. Click on the plus sign where it says add files and more, and click on add photos and files. Okay. And click on the one you want. I'm not going to actually do it because it'll load that file up and I don't want to do that. So hit cancel now, but that's all you do. Hit open. And you come back here and you will see, all right, your file loaded. Here, I'll show you. So if I go back up to the top, see, there it is right there. The vision exercise, I gave you an example. It's right there. That would be loaded. So let me go back here to new chat again. And with the prompt, literally all you do, paste it right here. You just hit the enter key. And let the AI do its work using your prompt with the vision exercise as its source of data. So let me get rid of that because that one actually starting you in. And I'll go back to the one that I'm actually showing you.
All
Hang on a
right,
second.
I'm gonna be the redundant one here or whatever.
Okay.
How is it getting this information if we haven't typed it in somewhere? We were
You
told
can,
to
yeah,
handwrite
well, you
this
can,
all out.
I don't handwrite it out, but then what you can do is you can scan that in, and they're forwarding it for free to scan it in and have it converted to like a Word document. Okay. But you can also you can scan that into ChatGPT. You can make it a PDF, right? Upload it to ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT, please take this image of a handwritten document I wrote and convert that to Microsoft Word or whatever tool you have um, on your computer. Another thing you can do, which is a really good exercise, is to actually read it out loud. Just open up you can get Zoom for free. You can get a 40-minute Zoom for free. Open up Zoom and then recite or speak out loud your vision statement while you're on Zoom. And you can choose to have that converted to a PDF that will give you the notes. Actually, I'm sorry, I think it's actually a Word document. So it's another way you can do that. Yeah, that's probably the better way, honestly, because when you read it out to yourself, it'll have another really big imprint on your heart and your mind. Okay, excellent way to imprint that in a more permanent way by reciting it to yourself. Okay, and the other beautiful thing about that is you've now got it recorded. Not only in writing, you've got it recorded. You can listen to it in your car, on your phone. Okay. Um, and most of us now on our cell phones have a recording feature too. You can record a file on your phone and then keep it with you if you want to, or send it to yourself in an email so you have it on the computer too. But those are a couple of options here, Kathy. You know. In any case, so I plugged in the chat. I'm sorry, I plugged in the prompt. Okay, and already read what the ChatGPT said about the vision statement and its comment about the prompt. We come down here, it came up with the title Vision Aligned Goals for the person in the document. Okay. And it broke it down into 11 categories. Remember, I said most people could come up with 9 environments. Consider these categories environments. Okay. And we'll just look at one of them as an example. So the first one was spiritual growth and faith-based living. And again, guys, this is you're not expected to have an exact copy of this. This is this person's vision statement. The person who wrote this is personal to that person. Yours could be different. But in any case, I love what ChatGPT does. It basically summarizes what this particular vision was for this particular environment. Vision themes: deep love of God and Jesus, spiritual peace, living by faith, not fear, gratitude, serenity, humility, openness, and learning. And for those of you who are familiar with the 12-step program, you might recognize some of that. Okay. And the aligned goals are here. Maintain a daily spiritual practice, including prayer, meditation, scripture study. Mentor others in their spiritual journey as a form of service. Participate in meaningful spiritual retreats or pilgrimages annually. Generally practice faith-based decision making rather than fear-based decision making. Develop habits of gratitude and reflection. Journal daily inventory. Okay. And by the way, you notice the last one says develop habits of gratitude. Well, what is a habit of gratitude? Um, well, you can journal every day in your daily planner and just write the words down. I am grateful for, and then list all the things you're grateful for that day. Maybe a sibling called you out of the blue that you haven't spoken to for a while, or an old friend, or a client called you and said, "Hey, we want to make an offer on that property." So whatever it is you're grateful for, you could be grateful for waking up that morning and feeling good, with no aches and pains. You could be grateful that you're no longer have a cold, that you're now, you're healthy again. So, but what I'm going to get at here is this: when we do the actions exercise next week, we're going to feed it this. We're going to feed it this, the result of the goals exercise. We're going to say, um, what are the action steps that are required to accomplish each of these goals in each of these environments, right? Now, this is a huge, huge benefit for you because otherwise, this is the kind of stuff, guys, that used to take us days, weeks, even months sometimes to flesh all this out. If you got 11 goals to accomplish in a year, that's a pretty daunting task. Some goals may only take a week of your time, but some of them could take months. So, in any case, instead of spending a full month putting all this together, so far, do you like what you're seeing from ChatGPT as far as how it's fleshing out the goals? Yeah, huge time saver, you know. And I also like the fact that it's pretty concise. So you can see this person is familiar with AA and the 12 steps. Um, I've had family members go through that, so I'm familiar with it as a observer, fellow family member. Um, number three, deep loving marriage. Boy, I couldn't use help on that one. I know I could. You know, I am far from being perfect in that regard. So, in any case, plan regular couple adventures, right? Big yearly trips, small monthly experiences. Um, maintain rituals of connection, date nights, share spirituality, intentional communication, right? Instead of just talking about the weather, you know, ask each other who, what, where, when, how, why questions. Why do they feel the way they do? How do they feel about something? Why do they feel that way? You know, things like that. Capture memories together through photos, writing, and video. Um, Probably 2 years ago, I think I shared this with you guys. My dad and stepmom and my brother and sister and I went to Germany for 11 days, and I used Canva, thanks to Ryan, and picked songs out specifically to create the video slideshow of our trip to Germany. And it was rudimentary. I mean, I'm not an expert at that stuff at any stretch of the imagination, but it was a creative expression. And he loved it. Everybody loved it. The family. In any case, doing stuff like that, guys, it really touches people. It's not always about, building the empire and, having enough money to give you the lifestyle you want and things like that. It's all good stuff. Nothing wrong with all that. But I'm pretty sure you're going to recognize over time your relationships with other people become way more important than stuff, you know, relationships and experiences. So in any case, that's another goal that came out. Um, Mentorship, leadership, impact on others. So this guy is clearly a servant leader. Purpose-driven business and entrepreneurial success. Now he's getting to the business, all right? Um, so the vision theme for this is building thriving businesses, collaborating with high integrity people, doing what you love, abundance mindset, contribution focused leadership, right? So one of the goals is build businesses that align with personal purpose and add value to others. That's a very noble goal. Partner only with people who operate with integrity, generosity, and honesty. That's pretty smart. Yeah. Develop systems allowing business to thrive without sacrificing lifestyle. That's pretty important, right? Automation. Maintain mastery in your profession and contribute thought leadership. We should all be doing that actually. Use business success as a vehicle for mentoring and giving back. Um, so in any case, I'm not gonna go into all the details on all these. I wanted to share this with you guys so you could see an example of someone else's, how it covers multiple environments. Generosity and philanthropy, right? Time, money, spirit, the three T's: time, talent, and treasure. What can you share? How can you share those with others? That's what really brings you real fulfillment. Lifelong learning and curiosity. I love that. I like to always tell people I like to think I live in this constant state of exploration and discovery. I always like learning new things. I've read a lot of it's a wide variety of subjects. Adventure, travel, connection with nature. Remember, guys, this might not resonate with each one of you, but you know, for me, adventure and travel, connection with nature is kind of a big thing. So that resonates with me. But community, friendship, and staying connected. You've got your neighborhood that you're in, unless you're living way out in the wilderness and you don't really have much of a neighborhood. But friendship, your church community, right? Clubs you belong to, all really important stuff. Um, Living with joy, humor, and lightness because you recognize stuff is going to happen. Just accept it. Plan on it. Expect it. Expect trouble. And you're not blindsided when it happens. And you're prepared mentally and emotionally to deal with it. So part of that ends up resulting you realizing everything is going to be okay. It is. Everything's going to be okay. No matter what it is. At the end of the day, it's going to be okay. Health, vitality, longevity. So there's your physical health. And there's the summary there. So in any case, let me stop to share here. So compared to the previous years, would you guys agree this is like immensely, immeasurably much easier now that we have this tool? Yeah. And the thing is you don't have to accept it verbatim. Whatever comes out of your prompt, whatever AI tool you're using, you can always modify it, you know, um, improve it, adapt it. But just remember, if you do that, you're going to want to get into that theta brainwave state, right? Remember theta. That's where you're awake and aware, but you're really operating from your subconscious, even though you can hear noises and cars and dogs and birds and stuff. It doesn't derail you from your theta state. It doesn't consume your processing power. It doesn't take you back in the conscious state. You're allowed to stay in subconscious state. That's why we do it. It's not anything you want to take a shortcut on. It's not something you want to bypass and ship right to the writing because it will not work if you do that. That is a fact. You've got to get into that state, right? And let the higher source for you take over. And if you don't believe in any other higher source, you still have one. I can prove it to you. Okay. I mean, right now, think about this. You're listening to what I'm saying, you're processing what I'm saying, and you're in control enough of your mind to configure questions and responses. Would you all agree with that? Just hand raise. You're, yeah, you're doing all that work. All right. Well, if your mind is the full extent of who you are, who is it that's doing all that controlling and making sure all those things happen? The compiling, the processing, right? The consuming, the analyzing, the responding with who is that that's doing that? That's your higher self. Okay. That's the distinction. So keep that in mind. If you ever wonder, well, why my mind is my mind, I'm just have one mind. Well, you have a conscious mind. You also have a subconscious mind. That's the one that's the connection with the Almighty. So, in any case, um, I don't want to preach to you tonight. I do, but I just want you to know that that's a reality. And once you see it, and you now you know it, and you can't unknow it. Okay. So, if you're ever wondering the why you want to try to analyze it like I do everything, that's the analysis. So, in any case, pretty cool stuff. All right. I'm going to stop talking because I want you guys to talk. Um, Give me some input and some feedback first on using AI to do this versus us doing it. And this is the departure because when AI does it, we don't have to get into that theta state. We just let AI do it. But when I tried it out before, multiple cases, in all cases, 100%, I was fully agreeable with what ChatGPT came up with. But I want to know what you guys think. So go ahead and speak up. And by the way, has any of, or if either of you uh, loaded the prompt to your AI tool, I can give you a minute to do that if you haven't done that yet. Okay, good. That sounds good. So, did anybody else have the same question Kathy had? Because that's an excellent question. How do you go from handwriting something to get it into a document to feed AI? Is anybody else stumble across that and have that the conundrum?
Most people probably already use the tools and I don't. So that's part of the issue.
Well, that's okay. You can there's another one called GoToWebinar, and they transcribe it to it. I think you can get a free version of that. So, but you can have ChatGPT do the transcription for you, you know. So you just have to remember if your handwriting isn't all that great, you don't really know what you're going to get, you know. But so if you want to take the easy route, it might take you 5 or 10 minutes to read it, but that way you've got a verbal recording, and it will do a much better job of transcribing, and then that's what you can feed to your AI. So
And you're saying you can read it to Chat GPT directly.
yeah, if you go back, let me go back here real quick. I don't think I'm still sharing. Hang on 1 second. Share. You can actually speak into it. It's pretty neat. So if you do let me get our pictures up out of here. New chat. You see the microphone there? I'm circling my cursor around.
Sorry, I'm looking at the other thing, so I got to jump back to your screen.
Okay. Yeah, that's how you click on that, and you can dictate it right directly to ChatGPT. So honestly, that's probably what I would do. That's probably
Oh,
the most direct
okay.
way, you know. And by the way, automatically it's transcribing, and it saves everything. Everything I've done so far is all over here. Okay. Agent attraction scripts. Yes, I got a lot of those for you. So we're going to go over those probably, I'd say in probably January. Let's see. Um, I will send for those of you who come to the agent attraction huddle. I don't know if I've given these to you yet, but if not, I'll do that on Wednesday. Does anybody recall if I attached or loaded up the agent attraction scripts or not?
Not yet.
Okay, thanks, Eric. I couldn't remember if I did it or not, but I'm going to do that. Remind me on Wednesday. In fact, let me write that down. Um, agent attraction scripts.
I think you mentioned you were testing them, so
Okay. I'm going to write ChatGPT. Okay. All right, good. I'll do that on Wednesday. So that's probably the easiest, fastest way, Kathy. And the free version, I'm pretty sure has that as well, you know?
Yeah, it does. I saw it.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Is it, you're very welcome. Hey, is everybody okay with the way we're doing the goals exercise this year?
yeah, Gary,
Are you
let
ready?
me just interject because I heard Kathy say something earlier today about just thoroughness and a bigger vision exercise, and she can. My suggestion is put in what you can, and then it'll prompt you if you want to add anything to it. And once you read it, it'll probably spark some ideas in you. So, and you can always add to it. It's not a finite
Mhm.
thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Thanks, Eric.
That much I
Um,
figured.
okay. Yeah, I've had some prompts I've worked on. Once I got the prompt the way I wanted it, I would spend up to another 2 hours going through the follow-up steps that it feeds you. It's it's amazing. It really literally stuff we're getting done in minutes and hours. It would take, weeks and months and or a lot of money to pay consulting companies to do. Um, Now remember, it is a tool. It's not a person. It's a tool that we use as people. So we're still far superior to anything that any computer could ever do. I know you might not think that because we're thinking of things like NASA and banks and Wall Street and all that. Well, that's, in any given instance, yeah, their computer is going to crank out numbers faster than we can, but it requires us to program those things, right? So no matter what, no matter how smart these things get, that are limited, dramatically limited compared to what we're capable of, that's one of my realizations. As much as I admire it, respect it, I realize it's not infallible, and you do want to proofread everything and don't just accept it carte blanche. Go through and think through it. Look for things that may be missing that are important to you, or things that are just not in alignment. So be aware of that. So, well, while we're here, guys, let's go ahead and let's do a catch up on the vision exercise. Um, Did anybody start the vision exercise and then think to yourself, I don't even know what to write. You didn't know what to write and you kind of struggle with getting started. Anybody, because that happens every year too. And it's happened to me before, actually, too. Not in my first time. Like 2 or 3 years in. I just was kind of stuck.
Like I was saying this morning, this time it seemed more difficult for me.
Mhm.
Um, and and I think that's because we're always changing, and our goals and visions and that changes as well. So um, depending on where you're at in life in things, it 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 affects all of it. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. It does, absolutely. And there are times, guys, where you don't want to just wait till the end of the year, transitioning into a new year to do this. I mean, we generally do that as a rule because it's a great time to do it. But throughout the year, if you have a major life-changing event, either positive or not so positive, it's probably a good idea after the dust settles to do this again. Okay. Sometimes you do it because you just need a reboot. That's what it was 2 years ago, year and a half ago. Brianna Lathan did that. It was like springtime. And she said it wasn't anything dramatic here. She said, I just feel like I needed a reboot. She felt like she was stuck, just in a stuck state. She wasn't going forwards, backwards, or anything. So on her own, of her own volition, she did the vision exercise again. It was exactly what she needed. I mean, right away, she's getting into this big hotel deal. And I'm introducing her to the different lenders and things like that. It was amazing. Um, one of the side notes out of that was the for vision, instead of just thinking like most of us do, gee, I wish I could get a duplex. You just really wanted a hotel. So she started taking the action steps necessary to get involved with owning a hotel. Um, that's how the whole thing transpired, you know. She hadn't done it that I never may had never had happen, you know. So that was a great example. There's others. I mean, I don't I've got hundreds of these that people have given me over the years. Um, Probably over 13 years now. And I can't remember them all, but I'm happy to go back sometimes if you ever want to see examples. And just let me know. I'll try to edit out names and things like that. And you know, I always tell people, if you're willing to share, it could be shared. So be aware of that. But I never share anything, something like this, without taking out names and things like that. Um, so this is from Kathy. I found the things that accomplish and or goals change. It's also a good time. Yeah, that's exactly right. So yeah, it could be very positive. If you hit a major milestone in your life, like if you've realized one of your visions, that's pretty profound stuff. And that generally it's hard to do because a lot of these things are lifelong. They're lifelong endeavors, right? But setting goals, you accomplish a major goal that's in alignment with one of your visions. Yeah, that's a good time to do a do-over, to do the vision exercise again. So yeah. Okay. Who wants to watch the Steelers play football tonight? Eh. I wonder if I even have a Steelers jacket or something. Oh no, I have a sweatshirt. That's what I have. Because I did want to kind of finish up around 8. There's a few more things to do before I can relax and watch the game at 8:15. Guys, we still have 20 minutes. We could end early if you guys want to. We could do a vote. How about that? I did want to commingle this with other things, but if you vote to end early tonight, which would be a first time we've done this in easily 8 or 9 years, Kathy's a double vote. Don't be shy, guys. It's just honestly, if you could use the extra time, by golly, do it. So who wants to end early tonight? Just do a
Are
hands.
you are
Kathy's
you
just too
telling
good.
us you just invented extra time?
No, 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 no. No, you get to well, we can't create time, we can only manage time. So you get more time to manage. However you want.
Swell.
Anita says yes. She's
Nighttime
hiding her.
savings.
Yeah, yeah. But I tell you what, let's do this. Why don't we go ahead and end early? You can use the time to either, uh, if you have a written statement, to get it, speak it into like ChatGPT and let it get transcribed. You can do that, and then do the prompt. But please do me a favor, guys. Don't delay this till next week, because if you let things pile up, what'll happen is you'll rush. you either won't do it or you're rushed to do it, and you're not going to get the results you want. The aim is to, when we start on January 2nd, right, that you're hitting the ground running, you're in execution mode. The planning is completed by that point. Okay. So please keep up with the program. It really doesn't take that long. Honestly, I could have done that in 60 seconds. In fact, when I created the prompt, they go back and forth a little bit. It took about 10 minutes. And once I got it where I wanted it, I tried it on multiple visions, including mine. And it batted 1,000 every single time. But can I count on you guys to do that?
I promise if we get to go early, I will do it.
Okay. Well, listen, guys, I hope you have a wonderful night. I hope you're enjoying the Christmas season, Hanukkah season, Kwanzaa season, which is a little bit later. Whatever it is you celebrate it with gusto and a fulfilled and abundant heart. Okay. Because, I think we all share the same God, and I'm pretty sure that's what God wants. So, the struggles are just lessons in class. That's all they are. Struggles are just lessons in this life thing called class. Okay. So you guys take care of yourselves. God bless you and your loved ones. And Tom, I sent a text earlier to you and Kathy and Rob. Let me know what you think if you guys are around, or um, we could even, anybody wants to bring a significant other or others. I don't know why you couldn't do that either. So, by the way, guys, what we're talking about is I'm going back to Virginia where I lived for a while, and Kathy and Tom and Rob just all happen to live within an hour of there. And we got together a couple years ago. And then they never asked me to get together with them again. Now that I think of it, I just realized that. But just kidding. But I thought, let's get together. I'll have the one night free. I could do it, and then I'll be heading back up to the frozen north. So I'll tell Rob the same thing. Uh, Sound good, guys?
Sounds good.
All right, take care of yourselves. All right, God bless you and
Thank
your loved ones.
you. Thank you. Good
you.
night.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Good night.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for watching Monday Night Live. Consider subscribing. Agents, want to learn more? Schedule a call with Gary using the link in the description.